Modern Mahjong here with a Saturday morning video that we thought was important. We've discussed this many times before, but it keeps coming up and causing a lot of confusion. So there was a post and somebody said there's an exception to calling a joker. There is an exception if a joker is misnamed, and the National Mahjong League discussed this on a frequently asked question on their website. They answered yes, you can call a joker. This is the only time. We're going to go through what they said and we're going to just give some context. We prefer it payment by penalty, but let's first break it down. This is the National Mahjong League's page. This is a screenshot. We added the asterisks. To clarify, the league didn't include the question. So if the question was included, that would make a little more sense here and it would give more context. The prior discard here was not a 5-bam. So that's why the tile's misnamed, and we're going to explain that on the next page. So their question is, can a misnamed joker be called for Mahjong? And they answered, a misnamed joker may be called for Mahjong. This is the only time a joker may be called. The tile is called and the player declares Mahjong. The player, misnamer, who discarded, pays 4 times the value of the hand. Others do not pay. Example, player A discards a joker and calls it a 5-bam. The tile has been misnamed. Player B calls the 5-bam for Mahjong. Player B has Mahjong and player A pays 4 times the value of the hand. Others do not pay. This is the only time a joker may be called. Well, those of you who remember, and I think it was VH1 or MTV, they had those pop-up videos where they would have something playing and then pop up with little explanations. So we're doing that now in the next page. We agree with the league in the result. The discarder who misnamed the joker pays the other player because the rule about misnamed tiles applies. However, since the question wasn't included, it's causing a little confusion. So our comments are in bold and in green. Their question, can a misnamed joker be called for Mahjong? Their answer, a misnamed joker may be. Well, what can a joker be called? A joker can correctly be called joker, same, or the name of the last discard. The reason for this is a player discarding doesn't want to call attention to other players that they don't need that joker, or that they're breaking up their hand and playing defensively. So by calling it joker, you're calling attention to it. By calling it same, if someone's not looking, they might think you're just calling the last discard. And same thing as if a 2 was thrown and you discard a joker and say same, someone might not notice it was you that threw the joker. If a joker is correctly named any of these, the rule applies. It is a dead tile and can never be called. Period. End. Full stop. So the league wrote a joker can be called here. And while they did write that, and it is giving Majan there, we find it less confusing to explain, especially to new players, as it's payment by penalty. Because let's say the person is waiting for a 2 to complete 2025, and someone throws a joker. They're not going to be able to take a picture and show everybody a valid hand because you cannot use a joker in a single. So it's payment by penalty because technically the player may not have Mahjong. Also note, you can't call this misnamed tile for an exposure, only for Mahjong. If a discarded tile is named anything other than joker, same, or last, the rules for misnamed tiles apply. This is us writing this in bold and green. It can only be called for Mahjong, and only if it was called before the tile was correctly named. Someone throws a joker and says 2 and I go, oh, I mean joker. Somebody then can't say, oh, but I want the 2 for Mahjong. That's not how it works. The league further said this is the only time a joker may be called, and like we said, technically, you're not calling the joker. You're calling what they called the joker. You're calling the misnamed tile. Now everyone knows what you need to win, and the rules that are for regular misnamed tiles are applying. The player, the misnamer who discarded, pays 4 times the value of the hand. Others don't pay. Chef's kiss, we get it, completely agree. Next, here's an example that the league gave. And once again, if the league included the question, this would make more sense. Player discards a joker and calls it 5-bam. The tile has been misnamed. Well, it might not be misnamed. If the prior tile discarded was a 5-bam, then the player could have called it 5-bam. So this statement is only true if it was any other tile than a 5-bam. If the player called the misnamed tile for an exposure and exposes, their hand is dead. they can only call it for Mahjong, and then the discarder would pay them 4 times the value. Once again, we call it payment by penalty because they might not be able to show a valid hand. Others do not pay, agree. This is the only time a joker may be called. Yes, technically, but you're not really calling the joker, they're calling the tile that was misnamed. So we hope this clears this very confusing, very rare, but topic that whenever people see causes a lot of, oh my God, I thought a joker could never be called. So we're here just to set the record straight and give further clarification to the FAQ, which we appreciate that the league put on their website. We would love to know what other posts and Zooms would you like us to have. Send us an email, comment below, let us know what you think, and let us know if this video was helpful. If you have friends that want to learn how to play or family, or you've never learned by the rules and want to learn the official rules, our Zoom is coming up on June 23rd. You could register on our website. If you play Canasta and want to improve your game, along with Donna Miller Small, I'm doing a 3-part series. It is being hosted by My Jewish Learning or Kveller. Everybody's welcome to join. Visit to register bit.ly/Canasta June. The C and the J are capital. We have a PDF of 95 pages to help you learn the 2025 card, groupings on the card, overlapping tiles, backup hands, tons of strategy. Players have told us that since they took our class and since they got this PDF, they have really thought of the card differently and improved their game. And we love hearing that. This is the class that we're doing live. We have one more session of it, June 5th, Thursday. It is a 75-minute class, and we hope you could join us. With that, if you aren't following us, what are you missing out on? We help clarify, give content, share, connect our community. We hope you give us a like, comment, save, share. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Go to modernmahjong.com and subscribe for our emails. And with that, we hope you have a great day and a great game.